Hello and welcome back. Just arrived up here at the land. Got my most of my stuff unpacked from the car there, and this weekend I got to do some tractor maintenance. So I stopped at the Kubota dealership on the way up and picked up all the stuff I need for my 400-hour maintenance activity. So it's basically changing all the fluids and filters and everything. So first time doing any of that on the tractor, and not really the ideal thing to do in the field, but that's kind of where I'm at. So before I get started on that though, I'm just going to do a quick check on things around here. All right, over at the dam now. This is kind of amazing actually. Look at this big log. They must have mustered up, looks like maybe two of them, but blocking this whole path here. Pretty wild. So I think I'm going to remove that log just to help keep the water level a little bit lower, so the neighbors don't freak out and kill the beaver again. But yeah, I think I'll do that now just to give it some time, and then sort of keep an eye on it over the weekend. So let's get to it. I'm gonna head over now to the beaver pond. It's been a couple weeks since I've been here, so see how that's doing. This is interesting. It looks like the water level might actually have dropped a little bit here. Yeah, definitely. Last time I couldn't really even get in to this area, so it's dropped down quite a bit actually. Can't say for sure why the water levels dropped down quite a bit, but it's definitely a bit lower here. So cool. All right. So yeah, I guess first things first here. I got to get myself organized up at the tractor there. Get all my stuff up there, and then we'll get started on that maintenance activity. So I'll meet you there. Okay, I'm up here at the tractor now. I'm going to pull it out of my little carport here. It's going to be too dark in there to really see properly and stuff, so I'm just going to do it out here on this sort of semi-flat area. I think if I kind of pull in up there a little bit, then I should be semi-flat. But this is all the stuff that I got. So there's the engine oil, and one of these filters is the engine oil filter. Two of the hydraulic filters, and then all of the hydraulic fluid, basically those three and two more in here, and then the air filter, and the little guy's the gas filter. So all in all, with basically all the fluids and filters, including the air filter, just a little over $500 I think it was, 530 something if I remember correctly. But anyway, it's this tractor, I gotta treat it right, because it treats me well, and it's the single biggest tool up here when it comes to working on this road. So I'm a little bit overdue on this one. I got it at around just over the 200 mark, so it had just been through some filter changes and stuff at that point. And now I'm just a little bit over the 400-hour mark. So I figure it's a good time of year to kind of get this done. And then I can kind of get back to work with it and not worry about being it under with poor fluids and poor filters and stuff like that in it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the tractor out, try to position it out here where it makes sense, and then we'll see if we can figure this out. Like I said, I watched a few videos on different ones. I'm not 100% sure this is the same with my my model. It is the L2501. But based on the parts they gave me, I don't think everything is the exact same, but should be pretty similar. So we'll take a peek and just do things one at a time, and hopefully get it right. So let's get to it. So this is one of the hydraulic filters there. I think that's the one that drives the hydraulics, or filters through for the hydraulics. It's the same fluid that runs the hydrostatic transmission and the hydraulic system. Not sure how they're connected exactly, but it's all the same source of fluid. So when you're draining out all this hydraulic fluid, it's basically for all the hydraulics as well as the transmission. And I think the other filter, yeah, it's just down here. So that's the one on the other side. I think so they refer to this one as like the suction side, if I remember correctly, some places. And then looks like my oil filter here, and the fuel filter. I thought there'd be a fuel kind of shut off as well. So maybe once I get more stuff there off, I'll be able to see more. But it looks like this is the dipstick here for probably the engine. And I'm not sure about the hydraulic. Sometimes there's one here, sometimes there's a sight glass. Maybe it's the fact that I have my backhoe on here too might also make this a little bit more difficult. But that's the fill for the hydraulic fluid. But oh, there's the is that the sight glass? Yeah, I'll have to poke around a bit more, see if I can find where that the hydraulic dipstick is. Thought it would be pretty obvious. But I think before I get started, as you can see, it's pretty muddy and dirty and messy. Don't really take it through a serious clean very often. So I'm gonna run down to the tent and get the broom, a little hand broom as well, and maybe some rags. I'll wipe some of this extra grease and stuff off too, and I'll give it a bit of a clean before I get started, and that way it'll help me maybe identify more of the parts I need to change out. Alright, got it cleaned up a little better now. I think I'll just wipe down the areas as I'm working on them, but I still haven't really located the dipstick for the hydraulics. But I did paint some of the centerpiece here, and I'm wondering if that is the sight glass there that I accidentally painted over. So I'm going to just take a screwdriver and see if I can clean off the edge of it here. So I think this here is supposed to be the sight glass for the hydraulics. Yeah, it looks like just a little film of my my spray paint that I did on top of that. The level is there. I'm not sure if you can make that out on the camera, but looks pretty clean too. It's good. But, yeah, so okay. So at least I got the sight glass there. I'll keep an eye out, see if there's another plug somewhere that I can see, but so far that's the only spot. So I'm gonna move over to the other side now. And I think I'll start with the engine oil, since it's more familiar to me. Get myself started with that. So I think I'll start with taking this bracket here, taking that off. Easy access to that the fuel filter now. So now I've got to crawl underneath. I'm going to get a tarp. Ground's a little bit wet, so I can lay down on the tarp and then sort of hopefully reach in to do the drain. So let me go get that set up. All right, it's pretty full, my oil pan. Get this out of the way. And carefully okay. I brought a bunch of extra buckets as well, so I think I'll just use a different bucket to catch the oil. All right, my new one looks the same, so that's good. My filter wrench here is not big enough. That could be a problem. It could be a big problem. Okay, I think it's going to be good for the oil. It's a little bit above the full mark right now, but once I turn it over, the filter will fill up too, and then I probably want to top it off. So I've got one more quart here. I put the full 5 liters in. I've got 1 more liter here. It's supposed to take 6 liters. So depending on how much of the old stuff actually drained out, you know, it might be this full thing more, or it might be just a part of it. So. But I think I'm gonna stop on the oil part there, because that looks pretty good, and I'll move on to something else. All right, now I've got to deal with this old oil too. So I'm hoping to kind of put it back in the other container. All right, I fired it up there for just a minute, and then checked the level of the oil again, and I'm just under the full mark. So it's looks perfect actually. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'll hang on to that other bottle of oil, and then I'll just, you know, check it periodically, make sure things are still good. It doesn't look like it's leaking anywhere, so I'm gonna check that one off, and move on to the lifeblood, as they call it, of the Kubota, the hydrostatic fluid here. So first thing I'm gonna do is just make sure I can open the fill plug. It's the one on the back here I looked at earlier. Looks like I got easy access to it. So I'm just gonna make sure I can loosen that. I may not be able to get the filters off. That my filter wrench is not very big. I didn't realize it was that small, but I guess I've only ever used it on car filters, and they're, you know, much smaller than these ones. So if I can't figure out how to get the other one off, the other ones off, then I may have to swap those later. But you can do that without worrying about draining the fluid. Just a little bit spills out. So anyway, I'm going to continue. So I'm just going to get this thing cracked first, so I can make sure that I can get fluid back in. So let's do that. All right, now we got to climb under again and see if we can find the all the drain plugs. I think this is the drain plug. Okay, I can't see that. I think this is a drain plug. And I think there's two at the back here too, on the axle one there, and one over on the other side over there. Okay, that's one step done anyway. Got all the old fluid out now. Got myself a couple of containers here. I'm hoping I can put that back into the old jugs once they're emptied out. Luckily, I brought a lot of buckets just to you know, hang on to stuff for me. Step before I fill it up with the new stuff is the filters. So might be a little tricky here to get the ones off without a wrench, but I think this is the one of this side. So this is my first one here, right up in here. Still working on the filter here. Just trying to use the strap there to see if I can get a grip on it, but I can't. So I've kind of got three options the way I see it here. I'm going to try this is clamp first, see if I can get a good grip on it from that and get it to start. Just needs a tiny bit to break loose, and then it should be fine. If that doesn't work, then I've got some strapping here and a screw, so I'll just get a piece of strapping around it, or in the bolt, nut and bolt, and then I'll tighten the nut and bolt down to get a good secure grip on it, and then I should be able to slip a wrench or something over the end of it and get a little bit of leverage to budge it. And if I can't get that to work, my last and final option, as long as I'm 100% confident that the new filter is the same, is I can take a screwdriver and basically jam it all the way through, and then be able to get a grip on it to get it loose. Obviously not preferred to go that route, just in case for whatever reason I need the old filter or whatever. But anyway, it's a last resort. I'm pretty confident that the filter's the the same, so I'll just double check it if it comes to that. But let's try the just the grips first. If I can just get enough of a grip on it, I should be able to make it budge. So let's give it a try. Has a good grip on it, but it's still not moving. So I'm going to see if I can get the ratchet strap hooked around it to pull this way, and then hopefully that'll crack it loose. It's really really on there, but I'm not sure why it's so tight. I don't think it needs to be that tight, but anyway, I'm a little worried about jamming anything through it now, because if it is that tight, I could end up just tearing the whole thing apart and then having a really hard time getting it off. So the fact that this is like holding and I can really put some good pressure on it is good. So I'm just going to try to keep working with it like this for now and see if I can get it to budge. That was brutal, but we got her. I don't know why it was so tight, but without the proper tools, man, it's hard. But we got her off, so it's good. I don't know how long that took, but starting to see it just budges a tiny bit, but I had to readjust you know, after a little tiny turn, till I could get it loose enough to move it by hand. But anyway, let's get the new one back on now. This is the magnet that goes inside to catch all the little shavings of metal and stuff, which there seems to be a little bit of fine grained shavings here. It looks like the new one also has a magnet as well, so I don't think I need to reuse this one. But it's definitely a few shavings here. Yeah, see, it's got its own magnet. Okay, one down. Hopefully the other side's not as hard, but let's go check it out. Right, on the other side here, I've got this one, and it's right under there. Looks like it's the same. So now let's see if we can get this sucker off. Here we go. Oh, nice. Okay, night and day. Yeah, so much easier. Okay, so that's good. That's all the fluid drained out. The two filters changed. Now I just need to start filling it up. So let's clean out the funnel and then get set up here to start filling. Here we go. supposed to take 24 liters, I think he said, and I have 25 liters, so in theory I should have 1 liter left. So I'm at about the 2.5 liters left in the last jug, so I've got almost 4 in already, so that's 20, and probably 21.5, 20, close to 22 maybe, but see my gauge here. Almost where it was when I started. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then I might just fire it up again, let it run for a bit, and then check it again. So let's do. Okay, I got the hydraulic fluid all switched up now. Everything seems to be working. The level kind of goes back to where it was when I started on my little gauge there. So I think I'm happy with that for now. I tested things out too, and they seem to be working. So now it's the fuel filter and the air filter left. So these guys here, so the fuel filter and the air filter. So I left this till last because with the fuel filter, you probably end up having to bleed the air out of the lines to get it to start again. I wanted to make sure while I was doing the hydraulic fluid in the engine, I could start it every once in a while just to make sure things were working properly. So yeah, so let's do the air filter first. It's probably the easiest one, and it's just a matter of popping the old one out and throwing the new one in. So let's do that. All right, now for the fuel filter, and I'm just hoping I don't leak a lot of diesel out when I take it off. Hoping there's like suction or something in the line. I couldn't find a gas shut off anywhere, so I'm just gonna hope for the best to put a bucket underneath and catch what does fall, but hopefully it doesn't drain right out. So let's do it. Okay, that was relatively painless. It looked like there was a bit of a check valve there. So once I got the cap all the way screwed off, then the check valve kind of closed and the gas stopped, or the diesel stopped leaking out, which is good because then when I put the new one on and started screwing it up, it was filling up as well. So there may not actually be any air in the lines to bleed out, because it didn't. Nothing would have left outside of that bowl, and the bowl refilled. I let it kind of fill all the way up before I finally tightened the very end there to stop it from leaking. So in theory, that should be full up, and the line should be full up. So really probably shouldn't be any air in the line. But anyway, so let's fire it up and try it out, I guess, and go from there. All right, awesome. I was really worried about that. I did find out where the bleed screw is, though. Maybe I'll just show you that in case you are looking for it as well, based on another video that I watched. But if I do need to bleed the air, get you guys in here. So this is the gas tank, or the gas filter, diesel filter. And if I go from there, that's the fill plug for the oil. You can sort of see on there. And this, right above that, that is the air bleed screw. So if you need to get air out of the line because you ran the tank dry, or maybe the filter change didn't go as well as it did for me there, and then I guess you just have to turn that, open it up, basically turn it counterclockwise about two rotations or whatever, and then you should just be able to turn the key into the on position, and that should turn the fuel pump on, which should force fuel kind of through the system, and then force the air kind of out. And then you basically turn the key off, and then try to start it, close it up, and then try to start it. And you may have to repeat that process a few times if there's a lot of air, but for me it didn't seem to get any air in the line, so no issue there. Okay, now it's cleanup time. So all right, I guess that's it. I just got to do some cleanup here, and then maybe give it a test drive tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late in the day here now anyway, so I probably just going to call it there for today once I'm done cleaning up, and then we'll get back to the road tomorrow with all the fresh oil in there. Alright, needs a little more, especially at the front there, starting to sink in still a bit more. And then maybe a little bit at the back here too to help kind of level it off, but I think I'm happy with that for now. I do want to widen the road kind of on that side through here a bit more, just because I didn't want to take those two trees down, or these trees, so I'm just going to kind of take some of these smaller trees down and widen it out this way a bit before I kind of head back up that way. I'll sort of cut off the corner there and deal with some of this area. But anyway, I think that's going to be it. I got a few odds and ends to take care of still. So I think I'm gonna leave you there. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.